Let's talk about the Afro-spiritual initiation, descent, crossing, and return. Across many African and Afro-diasporic traditions, including Haitian voodoo, West African systems, and New World initiations, initiation follows a very consistent pattern. Descent, disruption, illness, confinement, chaos, isolation, contact with the unseen through dreams, spirits, death imagery, blood, and ancestors. Marking and cleansing, showing up in white clothing, ritual washing, blood symbolism. Then there's a return with function through a messenger, protector, speaker, carrier of truth. You can already hear Kodak in that structure. Let's talk about the gatekeeper archetype. Before ascent comes permission. In Haitian voodoo and many African systems, you do not ascend or move between worlds without a gatekeeper. The gatekeeper controls thresholds, stands between worlds, allows passage up or back. Symbolically, Kodak keeps returning to send me up, relay these messages, lock me in a box, fear that this isn't my destiny. That's threshold language. He's not claiming mastery, he's claiming permission. That's very Afro-spiritual. You don't rise because you want to, you rise because you're allowed, okay? Let's talk about how descent does not equal evil. This is key in Afro-spiritual logic, okay? Here's where Afro-spiritual frameworks differ from Western Christianity. The underworld is not automatically evil. It's ancestral, it's hidden, it's powerful. Descent means proximity to death, proximity to truth, proximity to forces most people never meet. Kodak calling himself Demon Seaman doesn't read as satanic here. It reads as acknowledging dangerous energy, acknowledging survival instincts, acknowledging proximity to death and chaos. In Afro-diasporic symbolism, power often comes from contact with death, not avoidance of it. That lines up perfectly with incarceration, blood imagery, baptism not in water but blood, coming back marked, not purified. Let's talk about the white clothing plus blood equals initiate, not saint, okay? We clocked this correct earlier, and Afro-spiritual initiation confirms it. In many traditions, white equals readiness, openness, spiritual vulnerability. Blood equals cost, sacrifice, irreversible change. White doesn't mean clean life. It means I am open to being worked on. Blood means this knowledge wasn't free. That's initiation, not salvation. So Kodak in white, baptized in blood, surrounded by black, that's not hypocrisy, that's liminality. Standing between worlds. Let's talk about the messenger archetype and why relay these messages matters. In Afro-spiritual systems, not everyone who descends becomes a messenger. Messengers are people who survived, people who remembered, people who can speak both languages. Kodak never claims to be healed, perfected, or sinless. He claims to be sent, used, and tested. That's classic messenger language. He's not saying I escaped the underworld. He's saying I was allowed to come back and speak. This framework works for Kodak because he's Haitian. Voodoo cultural memory exists whether conscious or not. His art consistently blends death, faith, sex, violence, and tenderness. His cycles of descent and return are public and repeated. And he narrates fear, not certainty. That last part is huge. In Afro-spiritual initiation, certainty is suspect. Humility and fear mean you know the forces are bigger than you. I pray to God this ain't my destiny. That's not weakness. That's respect for power. In a lot of Afro-spiritual initiation systems, descent isn't evil. It's necessary. People who come back from the below don't come back clean. They come back marked. And that usually lines up more with Kodak's imagery than Western redemption stories. Kodak's journey mirrors an Afro-diasporic initiation arc more than a Western salvation arc. Not sinner to saint, but initiate to messenger. That's why the imagery feels heavy. That's why the contradictions stay unresolved. That's why the testimony feels real.